Contempt, the lies, the deceit, and the miracles. The journey through the maze of mystery and intrigue. It will all fascinate and capture your attention. And the journey begins now. She stood there, beautifully adorned, head to toe in white, preparing to walk the aisle into the new destiny. As she thought about it, she took a deep sigh. This was not her first time getting married, but it was her first time to the altar. This was different because she was going before God. But this time, she was determined to make it work. She had waited a couple of years before she even started to look at a man. That last situation took her through something. It had been physically and mentally draining to her. But she was determined to fight for this one. Then the music started. She gathered her thoughts, which were all over the place. She took the first step towards the altar and began to pray as she walked that this would be her last husband, and he was a pastor. He must be the one. No one had ever given her away. She has always walked the aisle alone, but this time she was declaring that Jesus was with her and he would never leave her nor forsake her. She was determined to look straight ahead. She did not want to be distracted by the faces of the people. She was not just marrying a pastor, she was marrying his congregation. There were many that did not agree with his choice, but it was his choice. Several of the ladies in the church had made obvious intentions toward him, but he was not interested. Stepping up to the altar, she reached for his hand. When he touched her, she felt electricity go through and immediately became lightheaded. Closing her eyes for a moment to regain her composure, she turned and looked deeply into his eyes, all the time wondering if she should have waited. Well, it is too late because the pastor began to speak the words that she had heard before. She came out of the ceremony like she had been in a fog as the pastor pronounced that they were now man and wife. He introduced the congregation to Pastor and Mrs. Wade Banks. Walking down the aisle, she held his hand tightly as they strolled through many congratulations and well wishes. She had just made it through to the reception and it would all be behind her. The room was exquisite. The decorations were beyond anything that she could have imagined. Everything was just for her on this special day, which she would always remember. She thought that she would have to pinch herself and say, "Wake up!" Wade ushered her to the head table, and she marveled because she was entering into a place